Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon, and yeah, a privilege to have with us Seng Choon sharing on his entrepreneurship journey. Welcome to this new series of the IES Inca Technopreneurship Series 2021, and we'll be featuring 4 technopreneurs over time, and be inspired that you may start your own entrepreneurship journey as well. If not, find a new purpose of something that you want to do as well. Okay, so to begin, I do a sharing on IES Inca and introduce to you IES Inca's programs as well as the SG Founder Program, which IES Inca is supporting. Okay, so let's get started. Okay. Okay. So, okay. So today's event is titled Engineer to Social Entrepreneur with Mr. Koh Seng Choon, founder and executive director of project at INTI. Okay, event reminders, we will mute the lines and you can turn off your videos during the presentation. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to enter them in the chat box. If you like to ask a question live, just raise your hand to interact with each other and do a self-intro of your background. Yeah, okay. And this is our program for today. I'll do an intro about 50 minutes and then I'll hand over to Seng Choon, who will share about his event. Okay. So just a quick share on IES Inca. IES stands for Institutional Engineers Singapore. And IES has around since 1966. And our mission is to promote science, art, professional engineering for the well-being of mankind, and to be the heart and voice of engineers, to be the national. Okay, this is our IES Council, led by Dr. Richard Kwok. And we have members from different areas of engineering, and also different private sector and also academia. Yeah, and together we promote future engineering. And IES is divided into also different technical committees and different areas of engineering. And the technical committees cover different disciplines of engineering with new emerging ones like biomedical, also very traditional ones like and also precision engineering. Yeah, and even we have a future manufacturing technical committee to look into the new developments. Okay. So just to share for those who are not, you can join us because now we have a membership drive for new members to join us at a 50% off the first year subscription, and also the waiver of the entrance. So I'll send you the link later. You can join us in this membership drive until the end of March 2021. Okay. So to kick off our IES Inca. Okay. Yeah. Okay, wait a minute. Okay.
Singapore achieved independence, the Institution of Engineers Singapore, IES, was established. IES plays a vital role in the growth and advancement of our young nation. IES continues to advance and promote the science engineering for the well-being of all. You can always count on an engineer to come up with practical solutions. After all, that's what we do. But what about those inspiring ideas and applications that you've come up with? Market's the unfamiliar part, and it's never been more complicated. IES Inca supports science, technology, engineering ventures in getting to market and becoming the greatest success possible. And it's never been needed more, as disruption forces the reshaping of industries. Join IES Inca as we build an exciting and innovative community together towards the future of enterprise.
Okay. So let me go back to my slides. Okay. Okay. So introduction to IES Inca. IES Inca is an extension of IES Institute of Engineers Singapore, and our goal is to connect technology entrepreneurs in our IES venture community to build sustainable and successful technology ventures. And we focus on those in the scale-up stage of the journey. And focus of our incubator. And we also support new technopreneurs who are just starting out with our programs. And certainly any engineers who want to start their new business can have a chat with me if possible. Okay, okay. Let me just share our mission as IES Inca is that to support this kit of meeting the milestones, and also to build a vibrant engineering venture and entrepreneurship community that really can transform life through innovation and technology. Okay. Okay, and our incubator USP is that we're linked to the largest engineering network and body of engineers in Singapore. IES is recognized as national body for engineers, and we can lead the engineering movement for the new economy. And next, we focus on harnessing and incentivizing engineering talent towards creating this strategic technology needs. And lastly, IES Inca's role is to be the hub for all engineering-related new ventures that links IHL's research institutes and industry. Engineer Edwin Q is the chairman of our board, and we are led by engineers of different disciplines and also non-engineers like Mr. Teo Salak and Mr. Bill Chua, who are very strong in the finance and investment areas as well. Okay, so what do we do as IES Incubator? We work with individuals and also engineers and IES members, corporates, and we provide them engineering translation support, mentorship, and also business support training so that they are able to reach out to investors, customers, and business networks. And that they're able to scale up their business and be able to grow to other countries or tackle the other markets as well. Okay. Yeah. Mentors that can help to guide the companies and to be able to help them to do the business planning and to source the necessary fundraising. Okay. And also where they can find potential customers, also partners to work with, and companies that are going through our incubation program, they exit the incubation, we help to achieve their scope and of mission of the company. Okay, let's do a pause here for a while to check my slides. Okay. Okay. The focus areas for IES Inca is the infrastructure technology area, which is IoT for industrial purpose and also smart cities, robotics automation, and in the these are the companies we are looking at to incubate. Okay. Yeah. And to be incubated by IES Inca, companies should have completed customer discovery and validation, build an MVP, minimum viable product, and ready to scale up. $1 million and above. And the key team member is an IES member. Those engineers who are not members can certainly join us. Okay. And some of our partners in IES Inca, we're working closely with Enterprise Singapore, Star Accelerate, and also one of our partner, ISCA, is the Institute of Singapore Chartered Accountants. We work with them to provide finance mentors to guide my investor network. And this investor network has a pledge interest to invest about 12.2 million. And we continue to grow this network of investors that can support our incubators. Okay. IES itself is also part of the AFIO, ASEAN Federation of Engineering Organizations, where we have the equivalent of IES in the other countries in ASEAN. So we can also, okay. We have so created this Dare to Transform program, which is our outreach to technology and engineering SMEs, companies who have been around for a while and looking to grow. Often the dynamic business around, they need to transform their business model or to bring in new technology to commercialize. So we are happy to provide our panel of consultants that can work with them to invest and also incubate companies that they want to spin off. So if you know any companies in this area who we can help, just need to follow the link and contact us. Okay. So a short intro to founder program, which we are part of as the accredited mentor partner. Okay, this program is catered for Singaporeans or PRs. First-time founders must be at least 2 of them, and these founders must hold a minimum equity of 30% of the company. Company must have a minimum 51% in Singapore citizen and PR holdings. Okay. New company less than 6 months to apply for this, and applicants must be contributing to the company, and 2 out of 3 must commit full time to the company. Yeah. Okay. New companies we can support, and we are supporting mostly companies in the tech and engineering space, and helping them to guide them along how to start their companies. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let me. Okay. So in this program, companies, these new ventures, right? They need to have a few key areas. They need to be having a differentiated business model, suitable team that can lead this venture, and to be able to meet the criteria for applying for this SG Founder Grant. We will help to assess suitability, and once they're ready, we'll be able to write a recommendation letter for this team to apply to ESG. ESG, upon receiving this application and able to approve it, will be matching fund to the team for them to execute the plans. This matching fund, team put in at least $10,000, and you'll get $50,000 in 2 tranches. 25K at the start of the program and met the milestones within a year. Yeah, these milestones will be defined between AMP and also the applying team. Yeah. Okay, wait a minute. Let me just check this. Okay. Okay, maybe. Okay. Let me hold on. Technical issue. Can you see my slide now? Let me see. Okay. Yeah. Can you see my slides now? Is it better?
Yes, much clearer.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. Okay. So yeah, basically this grant previously was actually 30K, but it's been increased to 50K. And yeah, 5-to-1 matching now to support that. You need at least 2 first-time entrepreneurs in a team of 3. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's go on. So because of this, this first team wanted to start a fintech startup, and it's some kind of platform to help. And the second example completed the platform with key features, achieve 30 business meetings secured. Milestones are actually worked out together with the AMP like us, and then must be a reasonable milestone to between 9 to 12 months. Okay, not it can't be too small, it cannot be too big also. Yeah. Another example, we have a medtech startup, one that's trying to manufacture a medical device. For example, wheelchair-bounded patients, a wheelchair. Okay, so same thing, you get the first 25,000 upon approval, then next 25,000 upon the first prototype. So the second tranche will be dispersed. Okay, if you have any questions on this program, feel free to reach out to us and inquire with us. Yeah, just for your awareness, there is actually a website called the SG Startup G Network that has been created. And this network is supported by ESG, and its goal is to help link up investors, startups, and also incubators. If, let's say you're trying to raise funds, there's a lot of contacts for investors that you can reach out to there as well. Yeah. Okay. So in this system, you can find contacts of people you may want to connect with. Also, you'll be able to contact and message them. Okay, on this platform. So it's a very useful system to link all the parties in the ecosystem. Okay. So IES Inca also runs courses. We will email you whenever there's any courses that are coming up, and you can sign up and join us for these courses. Okay. So some of the events that are coming up for us, Deal Friday event, which is reaching out to investors. If you like to hear some of our team's pitch and also to network with investors, this is a good event to attend. Okay, yeah, and reach out to me if you have any business ideas trying to build on, or you want to apply for any of the programs that we have. Okay. Yeah. So that's the sharing I have for you to invite our guest speaker for today, Mr. Koh Seng Choon, to share with us on his journey. A quick intro on his background. Seng Choon is the Executive Director of Dignity Kitchen, Singapore, Singapore's first hawker training school for the disabled and disadvantaged people. Seng Choon has a degree in engineering administration, with first class honors, and also holds a Master of Science in Computer Integrated Manufacturing. Yeah, and he has worked in various companies in management, and he has also set up his own management consultancy firm, and also is very strong in strategic planning and business development of Chinese and Indian companies in the okay. And in his free time, he also lectures on the subject of entrepreneurship to MBA students, and also assists ex-inmates to help them to take and also to be able to realize their entrepreneurial ambition. Yeah. So he started Dignity Kitchen in 2010, and he's also has written several books. Yeah. Okay, so please welcome Mr. Koh Seng Choon, and feel free to ask any questions you have in the chat as we go along. Thank you.
Do I
Over to
talk
you,
now?
Seng
Okay, I need your slide. Can I bring
Choon.
the slide up? Can you release the slide? Okay, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Seng Choon. I'm the guy who created Project Unity. I'm an engineer by training, as Andy have explained to you. I'm a poly grad. After poly mechanical engineering, I give you some background. After poly, I went over to UK to study. I studied at Sheffield University, got my degree in mechanical engineering. Then I work as a foundryman. I'm very lucky. I'm making casting. The smallest we make is golf club. The biggest is GE Motor. So very rare do you see a Chinese boy running a British foundry. The company has capacity, but not enough orders. So the boss very clever. Why don't we buy people's companies, strip them, and take the order and do ourselves? I become what they call asset stripper. Right. I went around the country. I went to China in 1986. I take over companies, strip them, and take the order back and do ourselves. So we did quite a lot of projects. This was during the coal miners' strike, where the whole country was paralyzed by the coal miners' strike. Then later on, I did my master's, and I worked in Geneva, and I come back to Singapore in 1994. I worked for Koh Seng Library, right? I also worked in Switzerland for doing ISO. That was last time ISO a project is 20,000-30,000. Now it's only 5,000-6,000 to do a project. So early days, those are the days I work with Coopers. I do IPO, and I mean, as an engineer, I divert into doing other things over the years. Then 1997, I thought, why don't I start my own business? The reason why I started a business, I want to spend time seeing my kids grow up. So I decided, okay, let's go and do our own consultancy. So I do things like system development and all that. But one of the things I do very well is I decided that I do business development. What I do, I take company in China to develop business in India. I take India to develop business in China. So I did China, India for over 20 years. I'm expert in India, by the way. India is a different story. So today I'm going to tell you about how that engineer let me get this right. How engineer and how I actually started doing this. So let me put this up first. So briefly for next half an hour, I tell you how it all started. By the way, Dignity Kitchen Project Dignity has grown to be very big now, and I think I'm one of the biggest player in the market in terms of social entrepreneurship. I'll tell you how I make money and how I sustain it over the last 12 years really. So today is just to share you what I actually do, right? That's my name. It all started in 1994 when I first came back to Singapore, and that one was quite tough. Imagine your UK, I got 2 BMW. In Singapore, I come back, cannot even buy a COE. So the first few years was very tough. And my first son is born in UK, the second son is born in Singapore, and that's very different, So my wife, myself came back. But I work for an organization called Koh Seng Library, right? And in those 1990, those years, I realized that in Singapore, you don't see beggars. You don't see homeless people. You don't see stray dog, and if you go to shopping center, you don't see disabled people. So I realized, where are they? And that was the start of the whole journey. Come on, you guys are Singaporean, right? You ever wonder why? Because Singapore, we go to Jakarta, don't have. So that's how it's all started. So I do something called one social good. It's called Dignity Day. I tell myself one day a month, I go and do something good. So I started with the elderly at Sporty Park. I go out and help those elderly. I brought them out. Started at 4, 5, 6. Later, 40, 80, 120. I hire pastors, bring them out. One day a month. It doesn't cost me a lot of money, and I got a lot of in view. So I bring elderly out on my own. It did quite well. I did for 6, 7 years. Then later, I decided that I moved house, and I don't want to go back and do Sporty Park. So I walked into Kaki Bukit Remand Prison, and I went there to teach. You must understand, I hold a master's degree, so teaching Sec 4 is people preparing their Sec 4, it's not that complicated. Then I did quite well. Then the second prison came, Selarang Drug Rehabilitation Center. They said, Mr. Koh, you're doing this, can you come and help us also? Then I said, okay, one day a month I do for you lah. I went to Selarang where I see a lot of drug addicts, young people who take drugs and all that. So I did it for a while. Then later, the mother of all prison came, Changi. He said, Mr. Koh, since you're doing this, it's part of Yellow Ribbon. Why don't you come to Changi and do it? So I went to Changi A5, Block A5 and B4, and I start doing this. The reason why they like me very much because I'm non-religious. I'm not there to tell you about God and all that. I just go there and talk with these people. And some of them have been A5 in Changi is a pre-release one. Those who are going out. Some of them have been for 10 years, 15 years. So it's nice to talk to them, tell them what it's like after 15 years in Singapore and all that. I did quite well until one day I said, let's do something more. And that's how Dignity Kitchen started. So 06, I started thinking the idea, why don't I do something that's quite unique? So 07, I look for people. All these engineers friends you have, right, they're possible partners to you. Then 08, I start building, finding a place. 09, I look for money. In Singapore, in those days, imagine this is very early days. Social enterprise is very new. So what is social enterprise? It's actually a commercial entity with a social mission. That's all. So basically, I went to Spring Singapore at that time. Mr. Koh, your idea very good, but you got social. So you should go to MCYS, get a Comcare fund. So I decided to go there and presented my case. Then he told me, Mr. Koh, your idea very good, but you got training, right? That come under WDA. So I went WDA, presented. Then they told Mr. Koh, you need at least 2 years track record. So eventually, they told me, go to Spring Singapore and get. So at that time, there was no money. So now you see, just now I saw your grant, they give out 50,000. Last time my time don't have. So I decided I remortgaged my office. I took the money and I bagged it in, 200,000. And I built it on August the 9th, register. October 10, I started Dignity Kitchen. So I'll tell you what Dignity Kitchen is, right? Here's what it looks like. Okay, very short video. The idea was from 06 to create a social enterprise, right? At that time, nobody knew what social enterprise is. So I went to Balestier Market. Buntong KL? Next door, right, there's a market. This was the first one. Can you imagine? I train a blind boy. Then I get elderly to come for lunch free of charge. Then I get the disabled people to serve them. Then at that time, I decided, right, I use all the teach them, right. So I use curriculum from MBA subject lower down. Then I organized events. And what happened is more and more people came. More and more disabled came. So I went to a second place at Kaki Bukit. 14,000 square feet. See a lot of children, right? I wanted to educate the young so that adults tomorrow have no problem working with the. Then I started sitting down. I said, how do I train officer? So I wrote the whole curriculum, right? 2 years to do kopi down, kopi food. And I wrote the whole thing out. And then into the train and place program. After training, you must place them. Then the rental goes up. Okay, so I moved to here lah. Very good. This was my previous place now. I'll tell you more about it later. So I start incubating normal people. I bring them out. I train over 30 over hawkers. And you're looking at the only ISO 22,000 food court in the world. Then I won the President Challenge Award. I got Social Care Award. I won a lot. Then one of the revenue I have, I think, by the way, I'm $1 million business. I pay GST, right? So what I do, I train people and it's based on the skill future. So training is one of my revenue, event is one revenue. So today I'm going to talk to you more on focus on engineering. So how we innovate, how we come idea. If you look at this idea itself, it's a pure innovation. I tell you why. So your outreach program, educating people, organizing events, and by doing this, we earn money out of it, right? And we train. Now there's another project that we did after that. This is this one called Dignity Mama. If we go to Kutekwat, NUH, Butianfong, Sengkang, and now we are going to go Changi and Newton later on. I created this where we children and mother together sell second-hand books. And I mean, if you go there, you know what we do. You can see what we do. So this is the 3 shops that we got, number 4 and number 5 coming up now. Okay.
Dignity Kitchen is Singapore's
my
first
marketing
hawker training
manager.
school for disabled and disadvantaged people. He told me how they struggled to launch this initiative, but they did not give up. With
I didn't get him
confidence
to
in
do this.
themselves
You
and
can't
for the
get this guy to
future,
talk like that one.
they face challenges head-on. We must learn
You all
from their
must learn
spirit
from us.
and
Right.
their drive.
So basically, the idea is return dignity to the disabled and disadvantaged. That's all, right? So it took on based on 4 principles. First, I must skill them. By the way, cooking is a skill. So, and if you study Maslow hierarchy of needs, you need to eat, right? So we skill them, and it took 2 years to develop the curriculum under WSQ program. You're looking at the only hawker training center in the world. That people, are you sure, Mr. Koh? I'm very sure. You know why? Everybody open culinary school is to earn money, right? So earn for people who can like Shatec all these at Sunrise. Nobody want to create a hawker center, training center to earn money from poor people, correct? So that's why it works. And I was the first one. So the curriculum I developed covers management of hawker store, operation and culinary. That means char kway teow lah, mi po ta lah. We actually wrote the whole thing down. Then I went to WSQ and they stamped it. And this is a approved training program, right? I didn't know that 15 years later, there's such a thing as UNESCO for hawker center, right? Then after that, the second principle is gainful employment, meaning that I must get them job, right? So why gainful? You'll be surprised, Singapore don't have minimum wage. So a lot of these people who are special needs are not paid proper. The third thing is integration. I must get them back to society. And to do that, I created a food court. Everybody go to food court, right? And finally, inclusion. Everybody to accept these people. Now, most of you may not have heard of us because there's no need for you to see us. But you know that in Project Dignity now, there's a queue of over 100 people waiting to want a train and place, right? So what we do, we are actually a job creator. We create job for special needs. So imagine these are all the kind of people that we do. Ex-offender, we mix with schizophrenic, physical, polio, Russell Silver. We actually handle quite unique hospice. People who are dying, we bring them in and then we train, we let them work. And I tell you, those who are supposed to die in 1 year survive 6 years, 5 years. The history goes on. So Project Dignity is unique. It's a different disability. Physical, people who lost a limb, mental, social, and intellectual. Then we've got different race. The youngest we have done is 17, the oldest is 87, right? So this is how Dignity Kitchen look like. So it's actually, if you look at it from an engineering perspective, right, all I did was to create a community kitchen. And you must understand, hawker food, every one of you have been to hawker center, correct? Training, you cannot go wrong because this is actually real-time training. This is my place now at the moment. This is a new one at 69 Boon Keng Road. And then all you need to do is the guy to cook one item like char kway teow, that's all. But if you look at what we did, we divide the 3 parts: food preparation, cooking, and service support. So food preparation is, if you understand kitchen, right, any central kitchen in Singapore, the most important person is not the caller of the order, the fryer, the steamer, the wash the plate. It's the one who prepare the food. How many prawns, how many, everything all given to you. And finally, to include the public, okay? So the concept is pure engineering, right? Getting a platform to create jobs. Then I started this. Now, Dignity Mama was started because I don't know, are there any ladies sitting in your listening to this, right? Mother who give birth to a disabled child, right, is very tough. Right? Imagine your husband doesn't reject you. Sometimes even your father-in-law, mother also reject you. So mother bear the crunch of a disabled child. So I realized, why don't I put them together, open a second-hand bookshop? Why second-hand bookshop? Second-hand books, you at home got a lot lah. I can assure you today, your show said, Mr. Koh, I got some more books for you. Imagine the raw material is zero cost, right? Secondly, why hospital? Hospital very safe, cameras everywhere, and mother and child working together, very important. Mother can take care of the child. And more important thing, where do you find the most doctors? Hospital. It's logic, it's pure engineering. So doctors are there. Any problem, the kids. So you can see all these are special kids, right? So we talk about social innovation. This is how we innovate. Okay? The problem is how you train the disabled. Very simple. We train them at food preparation, cooking, short hours, placement, and they must pass the basic food hygiene. Then after that, we get them job. And let me tell you how we get job. 100% got job. Singapore quota system. But first, they must pass the basic hygiene test. Normal people, 1 day. Ours, it take 5 days to train you how to wear glove and all that. By the way, all these trainers are all very special. They're all ex-Singapore Airline girls. Right. This is a big video I want to show you. Right. Where we train a person to point. You see, what we do, you need to be very patient. All we want this boy to do is point so that he can get his coffee and the tea. I on the volume for you. Right. So, oh, shut up. Okay. So all we want him to do is point. Right. To point, that's all. You listen to what you just point so that you can get your tea.
Or what? You must point.
You must point, but I don't know which one.
Point closer. All the way down. All the way down. Point. Touch the.
That's it.
Down. Press the yes, correct.
Okay, good.
You
That's
need to
the
be very
tea, right?
patient, and you really must be patient. Right. Like this boy, he cannot talk. It's called selective mutism. So what we write, the solution is so simple. We found him singing. So we went to buy a karaoke machine and got him to sing. Right. So you see this boy? To you, wearing glove is easy. But to an autistic boy, cannot wear. So the solution is very simple. Put the hand on the table, put the glove on the table, color the hand. They can see the color, they match the color, they wear the glove. Can you hear the counting? You're supposed to wear gloves, serve the bowl, scoop, serve the customer. You know what's the secret? Very simple. Every hour he does well, come to me, I give him $4.50 an hour. Now it's $6. So what we do is very simple, right? We use money to motivate them. If they do, I give you money. Come on now, you guys, come on. People give you $200, run around Orchard Road. You run right. So money is the key to why we can do it. That's why school cannot do what we do. Then you see this boy. This guy is stroke, one hand only. Right. So what we did is we tried to get him to do it. And how to sell chicken rice. You see this one, This is the mooncake. You know the mooncake mold? We use the mooncake mold, turn around, too long, is $4.50. Now, this is chopping with one hand. You see the barrier here? Now, there's also a pin at the bottom, so it doesn't move. So you put a pin there, put your cucumber there, and it sells. These are pure engineering. Now, this is very unique. This is a clay pot machine. Produce clay pot rice. Now, this guy is only one hand. So we are now, if you come to think now, the person doing it is blind. Because some of this machine, we put braille on it. So the machine can produce a clay pot rice every 40 minutes. So you use innovation to help people, right? Okay, coffee. The biggest, most important store in the whole hawker center is always the coffee and tea. So we decided to train the deaf person. Then I realized, don't train the deaf, train you. If everybody learns sign language, let me show you now. Coffee, tea, okay? So what do you want to drink? What do you want to drink? Second thing, you want milk? No milk. Third thing, you want sugar? 1, 2, 3 sugar. So kopi with milk, siu dai. So you break as an engineer, you break the problem into 3 components. What you want to drink? You want milk and you want sugar. And that's how we train. Right. So this is a machine that we created. Okay, when you do method study, you realize the guy cannot blanch. Okay, if you do noodle, you need to blanch it. But the boy cannot blanch. So what we did is we actually go and find a machine that do blanching. I didn't actually created this machine. Actually, I was in Taiwan when I saw a machine that do that. So, and they're asking for $8,000 US. So I said, shit, I don't have money. So what I did is I took picture of it. I came back to Singapore. And in those, Singapore don't have fabricator. You want people to fabricate, cannot. Because everybody take the thing and go Malaysia to do. So I realized, okay, I forget about you guys. I go straight to Malacca and I create a machine like that. That actually blanch it. But they also got problem now. You know, the machine cost me only 5,000 ringgit and $400 delivery. Right. When they come in here, the thread was imperial. So I got to change the thread. Right, a lot of work, but at least we got it working. By the way, this boy here is the first person to do wheelchair delivery in Singapore 6 years ago. Right. Now, this machine is very unique. It's for people in low IQ, a point of sales machine that we created. I went to Samsung, I went to Samyong. Can you do a machine for IQ 70? They all laugh at me. Nobody does it. So I told myself, okay, go and find IBM. So IBM, when IBM, I wrote a check at $3,000 on the table. I said, please don't reject me. Everybody rejected me. So very funny. So I said, okay, I put a check on the table. Actually, I don't have the money. But anyway, so you see the machine? It's $1, $2, $3, $4. That means all the books matches the machine. And you see the different color. It is a symbol. So the machine is very unique. It's developed by the Israelis, right? Then American, and they come back, and it's only one of its kind. But there's one problem. This machine is still operating now in Cranfield Hospital. It's based on DOS. I don't know you guys know what DOS is, but remember before Windows there's DOS. So every time we break down, it's C // you know. So this is what we train them to do. You see, this is the hawker center. You got the disabled people, you got a trainer guiding them. So we get them to serve the elderly. So imagine I bring elderly every day, right? So they serve the elderly. So the formula is very simple. The disabled people cook, the elderly people eat, right? And then we let them to serve. So what can go wrong? I'm sure go wrong one. Okay, everything goes wrong. So this is how we train them real time. Okay, what is a social enterprise? It's basically a commercial entity with a social mission. So how do we earn money? We sell food, we own delivery. So the next time you all got meeting, can order food for us. We organize event, CSR event. We organize rental, we rent out space to people to do things, and we are actually WSQ ATO. So you can claim your AT, you can use your Scale Future to come in, and we got rental and we got consultancy. So the money we earn goes to, like, for example, I told you, like $4.50 or now $6 an hour allowance. We treat the elderly to lunch. Why I do the lunch treat is very simple. I went to old nursing home, and you ask the old people, what do they want? I can tell you, all the old people say, Mr. Koh, I want to go out. They want to go out. So from October 10, I bring them out. Every single day for the last 11 years, I haven't failed. 40, 40, 40, right? You know how many I've done? Over hundreds, right? So next thing is working capital. Because you don't forget, I'm not a small operation. I'll tell you how many people work for me now. So as of today, we train thousands of disabled people placed in the market. Singapore normal people, we place 1,000. Elderly coming for lunch, we take 140, 150,000, right? And we actually started over 36 hawker stores in Singapore. But knowledge has to be shared. I'm an engineer. So I told you, right, I took 2 years to write the whole curriculum together with my team. So things like how to maintain equipment, quality control, everything. But I didn't stop here. So I call this put store management. Now I realize everybody want to train hawkers. You cannot do it one. It's not so simple. Hawker is a business. By going to Temasek Poly, you think you can learn hawker, right? And people nowadays they can Google. So I decided this is food store management. I'm now talking to you, Singapore University of Social Service, to produce food court management, how to run a food center. And I tell you, nowadays a food center is very different. You got cashless system, you got robotic, you got all kinds of things, waste management. So you must change that. And I'm developing is a 1-2 year course, 40 credit point. It will be implemented next year, right? So I decided my business is quite stable. I decided to scale it up. So I went to Hong Kong. Okay. So Hong Kong government 5 years ago came to see us. Hong Kong is not the only one. We got Croatian, we got Iran, we got UK, we got China. We are job creator. India give us. So what happened was US give us a site at Arizona and money to do it for one very special people, war veteran. Thailand is prostitute, right? Malaysia also. So you see, we have been asked to go overseas, except Hong Kong, I like it. Hong Kong offer us a place at Shanghai Kai. If you've ever been to Hong Kong, you realize Shanghai Kai is it's next to Nathan To. It's very busy. And it's next to Langdon Place. There's Langdon Place. and it's a very expensive area. It's not possible to get 6,000 square feet. So they give to us. Then we started, I designed the whole thing, set it up as community center, kitchen, everything. We got training classroom, everything. Set it up as a training center for hawker training and people with disability, right? These are all the people we train. As of last Tuesday, I think today is what day? Today is Thursday. On Tuesday, we received the award, Asia 50 Best Restaurant. I think not many people can get that, right? We won the Hong Kong award for foodie. Singapore, we won a lot of awards. So these are the people I have. Then what happened? We started register the company in January 2019. June 19, we started renovation, and it's the start of the riot. This is nothing. You want to show the violent one? I can show you a lot of violent one. So because of the COVID of this social disturbance, I cannot call riot, by the way. Hong Kong people will whack me if I say the wrong word, right? So I call it social disturbance. So the whole country, my whole place, you see, this is latent though. This is Yong Hai Kai. So when the police charge, all the people run to the right, and that's Yong Hai Kai. So we got breaks on the floor, we got a lot of problems, right? So after this, we got the second problem, COVID-19. So from June to December, we survived at the riot. Then the riot, COVID-19 come in, and the COVID-19 is quite tough. As of last year, we got 2 persons sitting to the table, operational 50% capacity, a lot of problems, but we survived, right? This is what happened at the moment. Every day, we go around Hong Kong and provide food for the Hong Kong people. Every day, the homeless people, we supply them. Every day, we supply 600 over. And we got sponsors to do this. In Singapore, we also do that every Monday. Last year, we did 12 nursing homes, 2 halfway house. Every day, we do 600 over bag of meals every day. That's how we survived the COVID-19. Then I expanded this. We are now at this place now, at Boon Keng Road 69, right? So you can see the work. It was originally a bare, if you know what the 69 Boon Keng Road is like, it was a bare place, right? It's a warehouse. We stripped the whole thing and I redo the whole lot. Well, you can tell me how much it costs, I can tell you, because to convert the whole thing with grease trap, extraction, this extraction thing costs 150,000, right? So coming up now, we are setting another Mama store in Hong Kong. We're also setting up the one in Singapore, another one more, moving forward. We did this. Now, this is quite unique, right? In Hong Kong, we started a wheelchair operation. In Singapore, we started it. In Hong Kong, we started this because if you understand Hong Kong, the offices are very small. And even if you are disabled, very hard to get wheelchair-friendly office. So we decided to do a wheelchair delivery. We actually sent from there. I designed the box, by the way. It's able to unload from the side, not the front. Okay. Then this is my new project. Okay. Today is the trial in Hong Kong and Singapore.
Okay, I want to go to the.
Okay. Okay, listen. This project is to help the impossible, paraplegic. So what that means is very simple. There are people who are at home and paralyzed. But so what we did is to create a robot, which I call Avatar. You also saw the show Avatar, right? That's the idea. So this machine will represent the avatar. So the person controlling it is at home, controlling a joystick and a tablet to move this robot. So when you come to Dignity Kitchen next 2 weeks time, you'll see that this robot will approach you. He'll talk to you, how are you, what do you like to eat, laksa is the main item. He will talk to you, then he will engage you. But the person controlling it is miles and miles away, controlling this robot. I can tell you, this is just the stage 1. After I successfully do in Singapore, Hong Kong, Hong Kong is launched in April. Singapore will launch in 2 weeks time, right? And the person operating she's completely paralyzed, okay? And she can operate, but she play. The reason how we choose the people is that they can play game. You can play game, you can control a robot. And the idea is called Avatar, okay? You also assure. We are also doing a project called Dignity Farm in Dignity Kitchen where we create an agroponic farm. Okay, now everybody talk about urban farm. But what they don't think about is that farm you created, you need a farmer. So we are actually developing the program now to set up urban farmer, okay, so that we create job. So my purpose now for this whole year is to create job. So in Singapore, in Singapore, I have 80 over people. By the end of the year, with all these projects coming in, we're employing about 100 Singaporeans, of which 80 of them will be disabled. In Hong Kong now it's 50 over. By the end of the year, I hope about 80, of which at least 60 something are disabled because of all this project. Done. Well, not bad. I was told to do it in half an hour. So, any question? Okay, never mind. Let me finish a few slides. Then, okay, let's talk about question first. Then, I'll finish a few slides later. Any question? Hey, please ask question. I'm the guy who created this, and the problem I face is real one. And the money doesn't come from the Singapore government. It doesn't come from Hong Kong government. That is the clever part. So please, I'm an engineer. Ask the question. How I innovate. No point coming here if you don't ask question. Ask please. Every time I go to talk, I must ask people ask me questions. Any questions? I'm in quarantine now.
I will ask some questions. Yeah, maybe you want to unshare, Seng Choon.
Unshare. Okay, wait. Okay, I tell you what.
Yeah, so we can see each other better.
The next two slides, then I can share the whole thing. Okay. The next slide is very interesting.
Okay.
I just show you. Okay, I can't click. Okay. The next slide is very simple. Let me explain to you. I mean, I want to tell you at the end of the slide is that have a dream. Follow your dream. I happen to have a dream and I wanted to pursue it. But I never know that from one store at Balestier, now is one complete building after 10, 11 years. My mother always told me something when I was young. 0 to 25, you go and learn. 25 to 50, you earn your money, earn your reputation. But come to 50 onward, you must give up. You must give back to society. And what I'm just doing it, I'm just giving back in terms of the knowledge I have, in terms of the know-how I know how to do it. Right. The second thing I advise for people who want to do this is think big but start small. I start one store. Because let me tell you something, I know nuts about hawker food. I know how to eat, but I don't know how to sell another. But now I can design a hawker center after 11 years. Next, very important thing, it's all about people, right? How to work with people, how you'll be surprised. I don't have an office. My office is actually inside the hawker center. From the day I came back to Singapore, I don't have an office. And more importantly, don't treat them as employee. Treat them as family, right? And I can tell you how I survived the COVID-19 is because cash is king. Ask me a question how I got through COVID-19 and still make a profit. I'll tell you how it is done. Then remember something is never afraid to ask and learn, right? So I done it by 5:30. Okay, now I shut this down. Okay. How do I shut now?
Okay.
Stop the chat. Okay. Okay, please ask questions.
Yeah, you can just unshare. Yeah.
Unshare it.
Okay, then we can. Okay, then we can have a chat. Yeah, maybe I will just start with some questions.
There's something wrong with your line. It keeps intermittently.
While the rest of our audience feel free to ask. Yeah, why? I mean, what keep you motivated to build this enterprise? Was there a particular experience or person or that trigger you in this way?
Okay, first of all, I'm not a bankrupt. I'm not an ex-prisoner. My family, everybody asked me that your family got disabled person. I said don't have. Why do you think Tony Tan is so good, so gracious to appear on TV for us? Because he checked my background and he realized something that you don't have reason to do this. And who in Singapore will come up 1 over million to do this? There are a lot of rich people, by the way, in Singapore. But how many people would take up 1 million and gamble on this? And that is the reason why he's so nice to went on TV and talk about Project Dignity. And the reason, let me tell you where the money comes from. The first one you saw is 200,000. I remortgaged my office. I lost the property already. The second one at Serangoon, I went to borrow $500,000. Right, I got people who tell me, hey, Seng Choon, I got a good friend. Nobody will do this. I lend you the money. And by the way, I already pay most of it off already. When I come to, let me tell something of the reality of business. Guys, listen to this. When I moved to Serangoon, I tell you, when you're losing money in life, no, you got no friend. You don't have any friend if you lose money. Even your best friend don't want to talk to you. Why? Because you got to call them and borrow money again. And they see what you do, they realize, wow, right. So I told, you know what I do? The day I need to sign Serangoon, my mother died. And at that time, honestly, I can walk away. Then when I look at all the people I have, come on, Andy, don't you think I want to walk away? But 148 people now depend on Project Dignity to go on. So I can't, what was started as want to be an entrepreneur become a need to be an entrepreneur. And I went through it. So my mother, I told my mother, I went to Kusulim, I prayed, I said, Mother, I'm going to carry on. I think you want me to carry on. So I took the money, what my mother gave me, I pumped in to pay the down payment. You know, like when you get HDB, you must pay down payment, right? So I put down payment and I carry on. So the reason why I'm motivated to do this is because I can do it. I can really do it. I'm very proud I can do it. But the logic my mother always told me is, my father always told me, you are going to come with nothing. You're going to die with nothing. So at least now, I wrote a book, by the way, on this project. And I realized something that if I ever go away, I want to leave something behind. And that word is legacy. Right. And I hope all you listening here, you all got degrees and whatever. What is your legacy? At least now my legacy is what a cheat. I love hawker food. I love hawker food. My laksa, my kolomi is very good, I'm telling you. I get the Sarawak noodle. So I can do it, the fun of it. So basically, I kept going on because when I look at all those people, come on, I can tell you, you come to Dignity Kitchen, look at all those people. I can tell you, you can't get job, definitely. Compare Singapore to Hong Kong. Hong Kong got minimum wage and social benefit. Very different from Singapore. And that's why I carry on. Right. And I have no regret. No. True my wife keep complaining Anyway, I am not stopping. I got another country starting soon. After the COVID over, I'm going to go to the next country. And that's the fun. You know, I'm 62 this year. Do I enjoy life? What a fun. Okay, now I'm quarantined. I'm hosting. At least I got a chance to talk to you guys. Okay. So you ask me what motivates me.
Okay.
To see those people, my people, Singaporean. Right. Question.
There are still many more people that need the help. Yeah. Do you think there are still many more disabled or people in need or
I tell you the problem
marginalized
now. No. At the moment, Dignity Kitchen has over 100 to 200
that
people
need
in
help?
the queue. My business is not what to do. My business is need to do. Let me explain to you. If your son is challenged, autism, your wife is depression, your father is suffering from stroke, all this, I can tell you, they got nothing to do. Don't tell me every day watch Netflix, correct? So they will come to me, Mr. Koh, can you help? The queue is 100 to 200. Second problem, COVID-19 generate a lot of mental patient. Do you know what happened now? IMH also got no space already. So we are, this batch, this is batch 80 something already, right? All 13 of them are mental patient. We have never done this. Normally one batch we take of people who are physical, mental, social, and intellectual. This is one of those few times we take all mental because there's so many. So if you really want to see how we train and learn how we train, you can come and sit in, right? Come on, why do you think Hong Kong so nice to me and Australia, the next country, Australia, Koh Seng Choon, Macau for $1 million waiting for us to take, right? Brunei also same thing, but the country 400 people, no point doing it. You need a bigger city. And don't talk about China. Xiamen is the best, very nice place. So I have a project. I don't have, what I lack is the people. That's all, right? And not anyone.
Okay.
You saw the picture, you know. Okay. Any question?
Okay, we got two questions from the floor. The first one is from Jimmy. A lot of people are concerned about starting or even joining social enterprises. Yeah, in the chat. As the
Where is the question? I can't see.
Common perception is social and good, make ends meet. Yeah, and should more people, or we can encourage people to start social enterprises? Yeah.
No, first of all, you're not starting a social enterprise. You're starting an enterprise. So the enterprise, first of all, must generate revenue. So you got to sit down and say, this idea I have, how many ways of generating revenue? You look at Singapore Dignity Kitchen now, we sell food, we do delivery, we do everything. No, at any one time. Let me give you an example. In COVID-19, that's why nobody asked me what happened to COVID-19. In COVID-19, in January 2020, right, the sales dropped to all event, all cancer, training, all cancer. Do you know the income for that day is only few dollars. In one shot, everything cancer. And at time, it really died. Right. But I survived. There's a thing I did. I mean, if you ask me a question, how I survived the COVID-19, I did it. Right. But I'm just trying to explain to you, it's nothing about starting a social enterprise. It's about starting an enterprise. Let me tell you something. One of the things I did wrong many years ago was procrastinate. You are also going through the same thing. No, you think, I tell you, don't think too much. Jump. If you don't jump into the water, you don't know how deep it is. So you can talk out until the cow come home. But only when you jump in, then I realized you really enjoy what you do. True, there are a lot of up and down. There are a lot of shit you have to face. But I tell you honestly, you really enjoy it. Because the ride, keep your mind busy all the while. Right. Okay? So don't look at it about starting a social enterprise. Start a enterprise first. Then from there you expand it. Okay? Does that answer your question? You need any engineer work for you. By the way, all my people my GM is an engineer. Most of us are engineers. We are not.
Question,
don't get us wrong. We are not social worker. None of us is social worker. You go to Dignity Kitchen in Singapore, Hong Kong. There's no social worker because social worker will not take the risk and look at it from an engineering perspective. We are trying to solve a problem. That's all. So you see, all the thing we do is about solving problem. Okay. A lot of people concerned about stuff.
Okay, we have another question.
I can't hear you.
Question, yeah. So next question is from it takes a lot of effort to do this. How do you prepare yourself mentally and physically? Yeah, and what are the challenges do you see moving forward? Yeah.
I tell you frankly,
maybe to add on, what has been?
No, I tell you answer first. Before you jump, before you do anything, if you are married, talk to your wife first. This is the reality. You need the support of your wife, your children. At that time, my 2 kids were studying UK. You know how much money it is. And every time I got so much pressure from my family. So before you talk about, I want to go social enterprise, I want to do it, please bring your wife along, bring your family along, talk to your sibling. Because those are the ones who can stress you. I'm telling the reality. Right. So there are people who go to marriage and marriage got lost. Right. So I'm very blessed that I share my dream, my vision with my family. And I've been very lucky I survived. So about all the questions you asked me, share your vision with your wife and your spouse or whatever it is you do. That's the best advice people will tell you. Right. Don't listen to the consultant say, jump in and do all the business planning. Before you even do your business planning, talk to your spouse first. Talk to your half, talk to your children, because the journey you're going through physically and mentally will kill you. Come on, you think working with normal people is tough. Wait till you work people who even tougher. Right. I showed you the video just now, right? Can you imagine how long that we take for the boy to just to point? Right. So you have to be prepared, but you must go in with the intention of helping him. That's all. Okay? Answer the question.
Yeah. So what has been maybe just to add, what has been the biggest challenge you faced so far? I guess, and come in the journey so far.
Ignorant. I really don't know what I do. I'll be honest with you. One of the biggest mistake I do is when the girl commits suicide, because I was so stupid. I never thought of it. So ignorant is something I've always learned. I never stop learning. I really don't know. You think, come on, you guys know how to handle autism? Nobody do. How to handle boy who take out his trousers and masturbate in front of you? How do you handle those cases? So a lot of time you really don't know answer. And a lot of time I'm very blessed. I got now a group team of people who help me to go through it. I mean, Andy, you come and see Dignity Kitchen, right? You saw the whole operation, right? Don't look at it like that. You should see the challenges of trying to put them into that store. My place got Sumokong, got Tanki, got Nacha, where 7 months they will jump and do the trance and take the joystick and poke into your mouth, right? These are reality. Whether you like it or not, there are people with family members who are like that. Many of you have not heard of this because Singapore is very cute one. Singapore is very unique. You don't see all these beggars, homeless people. It's a matter you want to see or don't want to see. That's all. And since I started, we haven't stopped. Every day we got walking. And that's how, if you go in with a good intention of doing this and willing to gamble, I think it will work. So that's why we survived 11 years. I always tell people that we can collapse on it, but not today. Okay, guys, any more questions? I hope you enjoyed the sharing now.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for sharing. So you still have a long queue of people very keen to be trained. Is it how to solve that queue waiting?
Okay, I have told you we got ISO 22000. We are ATO. There's a process. Everything is documented. So let's say, for example, you come together. We are looking for the caregiver and you together. So stage 1 meeting is we interviewed the both of them. We are looking for the caregiver support. It can be a father, the mother. We are looking for them. Then we ask the father and mother to go away, and we look at stage 2. We are looking to talk to you. You must be social, articulate, and mobility, right? And then from there on, we choose you. Not everyone we have learned. Okay, after the incident where the girl passed away, I realized we are not trying to save the world. We can only help one at a time. So it becomes a customized training, right? I'm not taking 20, 30 people like what they do in SPA. I'm just taking one at a time. Hopefully that person go out and get a job. That's all. So it's not trying to save the world by helping one at a time, one fellow human being at a time, right? Now we are actually in Hong Kong now, and they've done quite well. Hong Kong is doing quite well, surprisingly. So the next, I can share you, I don't know how much time you give me. The next project is in Australia, okay? We're going to set up the next one in Australia. It's either go US or Australia, but Australia is safer lah. Okay? Any question?
How do you make a decision? How did you make a decision to grow into Hong Kong and expand beyond Singapore? Yeah.
No. You asked me how many Dignity Kitchen I opened in Singapore. I only open one enough already. Do you know how much it costs to set up? You know the web you saw my Dignity Kitchen? You know how much it costs to set it up? That's $900,000. And by the way, there's no government funding. In Hong Kong, you're so supportive. The site that you give is at Mong Kok, 618 Chong Hai Kai. That it's like going to Orchard Road and Ngee Ann City, they give you the whole 6,000 square feet, free of charge. So they recognize what we can deliver, and I deliver what you want. So Hong Kong was because they were very attractive to us, that's all. And by the way, I'm 62 this year. How many more years I have before? That's why I told all of you now, age will catch up one. So whatever you want to do, go and do it. Don't procrastinate anymore. So Hong Kong was because I realized since the offer is so good, let's jump in and swim. And by doing this, I'm learning. Right. It takes a bit of visa. But what I didn't know about Hong Kong was the riot, the social. That one I didn't expect. And I tell you, it was very tough. Can you imagine one night we sleep, right? We are staying at Siao Kai. We're watching TV. Both my manager and myself cried. We just cried. You know why? When the fighting comes in, right, the tear gas don't go away. The tear gas float. So when you on the aircon, it sucks in, wow, you die already. Then we take cameras, we're surrounded by black shirt. If you go to Dignity Kitchen, the shirt is black. So the challenges are going in, but also very good. You know why? When Hong Kong people saw what we went through, they always wonder like, why would Singapore person come and do Hong Kong? And they're really very touched by what we do. And that's why we got a lot more support. So what I'm telling you now, every opportunity, every crisis, there's sure got a lot of opportunity. Seriously. So you're asking me whether I jump or don't jump. I tell you, all you guys, go and jump lah. You know what my logic in life is? Very simple. We all die. That's all. I don't know about this is Christian or Buddhist or whatever. All I know is that at the end of the day, we all die. Okay. What is this? There's another
Yes.
question.
Yes, I have one question. Yes. So, would you mind telling us about your books which you have published?
Yeah. My book, Element of Success Business, is #1 in Delhi. Can you imagine? You know Texan, right? In Texan, there's Texan book, right? And Crossroad, right? They went to #1. But this was 15 years ago. I stopped already. I tell you what, Biju, you
Yes.
let me know. I go and dig out the book and I give to you because I just moved and I realized I got a whole stack of books that I wrote. I give it to you. I go and find out, I give it to you. I need to go and find it. Now I'm writing a book now, which by next week when I finish,
Okay.
660,000 words, 62,000, 66,000 words. The story of Dignity Kitchen from the beginning to where it is
Okay.
today. Right.
Okay.
That would be more interesting now. But I tell you what, you let me know where you are, or come down to my place when I come back to Singapore, and then I'll give you the book lah. Somewhere there's some lah. There's somewhere lah.
No, the thing is that I am located in India.
Oh, you're India.
Yes.
I don't know whether they still sell it in cross text. I don't think they sell. It's over 10 years ago. I tell you next time. I also don't know. I don't know whether. Okay, I tell you what. Maybe a soft copy lah. I go and see whether I can send a soft copy. The one
Yeah,
that's original script that I write one.
Okay.
I go and look for it. I don't think I can find it, but I'll see where I can find it.
And also I just want to know which was the one which was the bestseller list.
Element of Success Business.
Pardon? Could you please?
Element of Success.
Element of Success.
Business.
Oh, business. Okay.
Yeah, there's 3 in the book. Element of Success in living, and the third one is Element of Success in education. So the first one went to #1 in India. The second one, education, went to #1 in Malaysia.
Okay.
It's a very simple book to read. It's actually quite short.
Maybe I would like to take your email ID so that I can get to know more on that.
Okay, I get the people to give you the email. I can't give it from here. I'll give it. Oh, I can. I don't know how you do it. Wait. How do I do it? Type me. Okay, my email is.
Okay.
There's a chat window for that.
Okay,
Biju, what is some of the lesson you take away from today's sharing? Maybe you can just tell us. What is some of the lesson you have?
No, I have not. I know. I've already shared. I found that this session is it encouraged a lot of. Giving examples of passion with passion with interest. Your passion with purpose. The way you pursue things, with passion, it empowers and encourages.
Yeah, that drives you. The passion, the love of what you do drives you. At least every morning you wake up, there's something worth thinking about how to solve this problem. Every day is problem solving.
Yes, exactly.
By the way, I lecture at SPGen in Mumbai.
Okay.
I know India more than you, I think.
Yeah, and I also read that you take classes for management students.
Yeah,
in India.
Yeah, in India.
Yeah,
I maybe you go to my Facebook. There's a Straight Time article that tells you how I penetrate the Indian market. You'll be very impressed. It's called The Wedding.
Yes, I can't make out your email ID. Did you ping it on the? Did you put it in the chat?
Koh Seng Choon at projectdignity.sg. There. Have I done it right, Andy? Is it okay?
No, I can't make out clearly. What did you try to say?
Koh Seng Choon at projectdignity.sg.
Okay.
It's on the message thing.
It's there?
Yeah. Okay, guys. Any more questions?
Worries. Later I will find for you, Biju.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah.
Anybody ask questions?
About Seng Choon's sharing. Yeah. We just wait a while, let people think. Anybody like to just share?
Hey, you should ask that because the journey has been very tough.
Okay. If the journey is not tough, then it may not be worthwhile, right?
True that. But I'm very blessed. Now I got a GM in Hong Kong. I got a GM in Singapore, and I'm quite blessed. They done quite. I mean, they have been running the show now. I'm quite easy for me now, right?
Maybe I'll ask a question for Seng Choon. Given that you have gone forward, what do you see the whole project Unity going towards in the next 5 years? Where you want it to go? Where you want it to be? What's the vision?
Okay, the company is called Project Dignity, correct? So project has schedule, has milestone, has deadline, has deliverable, correct? That's why the company is called Project Dignity. And the project Dignity has 5 stages. Stage 1 at Malaysia is to create. Then after that, go to stage 2, which is to innovate. Then you go as Kaki Bukit. The third one is Serangoon, which is to sustainable. By the way, the turnover every year is about $1.4 to $1.8 million turnover. The profit is also profitable, except for some year when I lose money. Stage 4 is to scale it up. So Dignity Kitchen has scaled up to Hong Kong and other countries. There's a stage 5. But I can tell you stage 5 now because this sort of thing, I rather keep to myself first. Until I do it, then I tell you stage 5. But stage 5 is something that no one has ever done before. Okay, that's my dream, to do stage 5. I'm not finished yet. I got one more stage to go. Good, because this is engineering, come on. You guys engineering do project management must have deliverable, right? Correct. Timeline, deliverable. The whole project was screwed up because of COVID and things were delayed. Actually, how come nobody asked me what happened to COVID? I thought I want to tell you about COVID. How we survive COVID? Come on. Left, right, and center company are closing down. How do we survive and make money? That is the clever part. Anybody want to know? I mean, guys, ask me how do you survive COVID?
Want to know, you can just share how you survive COVID. What do you do in COVID? And when you open the Bendemeer branch, how was the process?
What happened was in 2019 December, I was in Hong Kong. That was just after the riot and the start of the COVID. The chief executive of Hong Kong asked everybody to wear masks. Now, I realized at that time, not everybody running to do masks. You know what happened? Because the Hong Kong people know they have to wear masks because they went through SARS. And at that time, the mask is about Singapore dollar, $10 per piece. So I realized this is very important. I must learn from them. The second thing I learned during the Hong Kong thing is that they told me that SARS is 2.5 years before it recover. COVID will even be longer. So I realized whatever happened, I need to survive. So my burn rate in Hong Kong is $500,000 every month to cover the salary, $500,000 Hong Kong dollar to cover salary, everything. So first thing I need to do, I learned something long time ago because I'm a very successful consultant. Cash is king in a crisis. So I went to borrow 3.3 million Hong Kong dollar to survive the next 5 months. So at 3% interest, and the person who lent me told me, okay, I'll pay you back in 3 years' time. Okay, it's called impact loan now. When I came to Singapore in January, I remember the government said don't have to wear masks. I told myself this is a big mistake. So what I did is I went to buy masks from from India, Indonesia, and Taiwan. I bought 2,000 masks. One I sent to Hong Kong, one I keep 1,000 masks. Then I realized I need cash. I went to borrow 300,000 in Singapore, no interest from two person. Right, I'll pay them within 1 year. Why? Because you need to have cash. Now, whatever bullshit you can tell me during crisis, your supplier will not give you if you don't have money, no matter how social you are. That's the truth. So what I did is, I did one thing very important. I know I got 5 revenue. Always remember this. But the one revenue that will survive, event is gone, training is gone, selling of food is gone. But one of the things that's still left is delivery. So I'm trying to explain to all of you, never go into business with just one revenue. I got 5. So delivery now is key. In Hong Kong, in Singapore, I went to Xiao Kim, I ordered 20,000 packaging material. Right. Then the guy was saying, you normally ask for 2,000. Why 20,000? He said, I need the packaging. And I tell you, every week I ordered 20,000, which is good. You know why? I had to deliver. In Hong Kong, in one shot, 8,000 packaging I buy, right? And I deliver. Because no matter where delivering, without packaging, you can't do anything. And that's why I survived. Then I was lucky, I mean, at that time, we are lucky because we did one thing very important. In Singapore COVID, right, nursing home cannot come up, but they need to eat. That's why I say this is a very interesting business because you need to eat. So I supply to 12 nursing homes every day. Okay, then I supply to 2 halfway house. I even supply to the dormitory worker, but not food. A lot of people supply dormitory workers to the Indian worker. Come on, they don't eat our food one, but they have one thing they like, peanuts. So I realized between lunchtime and dinner time, whatever they eat, they love to eat peanuts. So every day I supply 100 kilograms of peanuts to all the Indian workers and the Chinese workers at dormitory, right? Because you don't understand the Indian, right? They like to snack. Am I right, Biju? Right? They love to snack.
Yes,
So
yes, true.
I
Yes,
snack,
very true.
and they love us very much. Peanuts every day because our Chinese food we give to the Indian, they won't eat. Right? You waste your time. So basically, that's how we survive COVID. So we actually, then in Hong Kong, we give it to the homeless people. So people see what we do, they sponsor. And for a sponsor, we cover the whole year. That's why I told you we are actually survive the whole COVID and still make money. Right? But the money goes to supporting all the elderly home and all those things. Because let me explain to you. You know, when you tender for a nursing home in Singapore, the price very low one, like $2 per meal, $2.20 per meal. So we create something called pay it forward. So next time you come and eat my clay pot rice, you buy another clay pot rice. So from the money we earn, we actually give it to the elderly to eat so they can have clay pot rice. And that's how we did it. Interesting. Nobody asked me a question.
Okay, I think we will wrap up. I think you have shared a lot, Seng Choon, from the ups to the downs and to the difficult moments. I think it's not lucky lah. Over time, you build experience, you build foresight, and you build courage to persevere on, and this is why you have in a way changed their life lah, in that sense. So as fellow engineers, I think we love solving problems. And there's many in front of us that we can take on, whichever one to us, or we can really make an impact to the world, whichever area we are able to.
Okay.
And that's where I encourage our fellow participants, to go forth and somehow also to spread his message of the dignity of every person in Singapore, whether they are disabled or not. Yeah. So I just share a few slides of announcement. Okay, for those who maybe just joined us, we have a investment event on the built environment. Next week. So if you are invest free to join us, I will send you all the link later. Next week, Wednesday, I'm doing a talk with my fellow entrepreneur Jason Low. I will be them and just share some pointers on leading your business and also things to look out for. Okay. Membership drive, and there's a 50% off the membership subscription. Welcome to join us. We'll see the links in your email later. Okay, so we'd like to thank Seng Choon for his time to share with us personal sharing of his journey, and the journey continues. I think he has shared with me his dream and with support from fellow Singaporeans and also people who believe in his mission. I believe he will achieve it someday. Yeah.
Come for lunch.
Okay.
Come for lunch. Okay.
Yeah. Feel free. The famous red building but
Yeah,
still red, right? The building.
miss it. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.